You're listening to the WBT Podcast with Michael Lodge. Listen to all of our podcasts at www.wbtpod.com. Stay informed. Let's get started.
This is brought to you by Lodge & Co., a business and tax advisory firm where your success is our goal. Call us today toll-free at 888-681-1518 or visit us at www.lodge-co.com and learn more about what we can do for you. Lodge & Co., your source for sound business and tax services.
And welcome to the WBT. This is Michael Lodge. I'm glad that you've joined me again. Today, I was going through YouTube and I was looking at people who are out there trying to convince people to join their multi-level marketing groups, especially in the financial area, insurance and financial area. And what I have found is that what they are doing is that they are really spreading nonsense. Their arguments are so bad that it's embarrassing. They are doing such a disservice to their organizations by how they are speaking and the words that they are using. They're comparing, do you think it's better to be in an MLM or is it better to be in a corporate structure? Well, let me tell you, you had better be in a corporate structure before you start an MLM, because 99% of MLMs fail. Those are the facts. And the 99% number isn't coming to you courtesy of some jilted individual or some person that's complaining. No, they're coming from the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC. It's a good study done by John M. Taylor, who is an MBA PhD of the Consumer Awareness Institute. And he took a look at all the companies out there who are listed as an MLM. And in fact, you should go look at that study because maybe one of your companies are on there. But the story behind the whole study, and it's a long report to read, but it's so interesting because it tells the compensation issues, the who's making the money at the top and who's making no money at the bottom. And it tells the differences between what is a pyramid scheme just rolling over from just a little bit off an MLM. But if you are going to be out there trying to get people to join your MLM team, you had better know your product and you had better have a strong argument for it. Don't mislead people, because what they do is they go online and they're telling about, how many millionaires there are, and maybe there's a couple of billionaires in the group, but they have no facts to back that up. And the issue is that the majority of the people in the MLM and groups, yes, there may be some people who are doing success or being successful at it because they're focusing on their product. They are selling their product. They know their product, and they're doing well with their product knowledge. But then there are other people out there who don't know the product and they give up and they can't be a success at it because no one has taught them the product knowledge. If you don't know your product, especially when you're selling financial instruments, you had better know it, because you are putting your client at risk by not knowing it. But still, they sit there and they talk about going to school and getting an education or being in a successful MLM organization. It's all nonsense. It's the sales pitch to get and tug at your heartstrings, but they have nothing to back it up with. And that is the issue. If you want to be a success in an MLM organization, you have got to know your product. And you have got to be able to sell that product better than anybody else that you invite joining your MLM team. Pyramid schemes start with recruiting. Upfront fees, upfront buying the product themselves. And just building on that team, because the more people that you have underneath you buying the stuff that you are selling, it becomes a pyramid scheme because everything flows up to the top. If you're wanting to start a business, do your due diligence on these organizations, because you cannot afford to invest your time in getting licenses and everything else that you have to do to join these organizations. But make sure that you have good product training. If they're not training you in the product that you're supposed to sell, there's no way that you can sell to a client, because you don't know what that client needs are. And you don't know what product, what financial product, or what insurance product, or what other type of product is going to benefit your client, because you don't know the product. That is where the risk comes. And you have to eliminate that risk, which means that you have to do a very good due diligence. Go out there and read this study. It's by John M. Taylor, Federal Trade Commission. It's very important that you understand what you're getting into. Do the background checks on the people who are representing their company. I hate it when people say, oh, you know what, I've made so much money in this, and they haven't made anything. I know one individual who's been with a company for 4 years and hasn't made hardly anything, because he's so focused in building his team. And I also have clients who are in the same situation where they're trying to build their teams, but they can't build it because they are not getting the training that they need in the products. Do your due diligence. Do your due diligence. Do your due diligence. I don't know how many times I have to say this, but there are times where you have to do a little bit of work before you actually start working. It's vital that you do the checks and the balances of the company that is trying to recruit you into their MLM scheme of things. I know people who are doing MLMs, and they're doing tremendously well. But the way that they're doing so good is that they know their products. I know one lady who knows her product so well that if you ask her anything, listen, I need to do this and this, and she will tell you exactly what product that you will need to better your life. Those are the type of people that you want to be with, because they know their product. But if they're going to sit there and spin a story and spin an agenda, it's worthless. You're wasting your time. Do your due diligence. If you're going to create a business, and if it's going to be an MLM, make sure you know your product, and make sure you've done your background check on the company that's wanting you to join them. It takes work to begin work. In other words, you really need to go back and research those individuals that are trying to get you to join, and also the company. If you have any questions, send me an email at mlodge@lodge-co.com, and I'll try and answer your questions. And if you want a copy of that report, I can get it to you. It's very easy to find. Again, this is Mike Lodge for the WBT, and I will talk with you very, very soon.
This is brought to you by Lodge & Co., a business and tax advisory firm where your success is our goal. Call us today toll-free at 888-681-1518 or visit us at www.lodge-co.com and learn more about what we can do for you. Lodge & Co., your source for sound business and tax services.
Thank you for listening to the WBT with Michael Lodge. Join us again tomorrow as we explore more about business and taxes. Follow us on iHeartRadio and go to our podcast website at www.wbtpod.com. and listen to all of our podcasts and read our blogs.